Hey everyone, this is going to be a video commentary on one of my better oddball matches that I've had in Halo Infinite. This one is on the Streets map, and I figured it would be a good opportunity to sort of use it as a tips guide video, I guess, for the oddball game type in Halo Infinite. So yeah, we'll basically just go through the match, and as opportunities come up, I'll sort of throw in my 2 cents, I guess, and talk about some good things and what I did, and then maybe some areas where I wish I would have done this rather than that. And yeah, really just go through the match, and as I have opportunity to give my sort of feedback on it, I guess I will pop up here and there to do that. All right, so starting off, we're again playing the Streets map. And sort of regardless of the game type, the first thing I always like to do on this map is just go straight for that power weapon spawn to try and get control of that for our team. So my first move really is to sprint to that area, and while I'm doing that, chucking the 2 frag grenades that I have to the opposite spawn to sort of contest that. So if I'm coming from police station, you know, chucking grenades towards the tram station. If I'm coming from tram station, then chucking grenades to the police station side, just to sort of contest that area, distract, to hopefully grab either the rocket launcher or the cinder shot, which typically spawns there.
Ball incoming.
Oh, thank you.
Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped.
Ball dropped.
We have the ball.
All right, so now that we have this sort of tower area under control, it's really just sort of a matter of defending their next approach at this point. So spreading out, keeping an eye on which angles they're going to come at us from. I do like this tower area on this map as a place to defend when we have the ball, primarily because it does give you decent cover, but also there's a lot of good long line of sights and open areas that they have to approach you from. So you have that sort of advanced warning, you can see them coming, as opposed to, you know, hiding in a small room where you're not going to know that they're there until they're like right at the doorway. And by the time they're that close, there's really not much you can do to defend yourself. So finding those areas, this applies to other maps as well. Finding those areas that do have decent cover, but they're sort of out in the open and you have those long lines of sight so you can see the enemy approaching, will actually give you a pretty good advantage, because you can sort of shoot them from a distance and start defending while they're far out, rather than trying to defend when they're sort of right in your face. All right, good job, team.
Drop wall acquired. Take cover.
Shields are down.
Quick call out here. So if you notice, the announcer just said ball dropped and player dropped the ball. Not a huge didn't miss out on anything too major, but I didn't realize that, and so you'll see me sort of run back and forth while the ball's just sort of laying at my feet. Probably could have picked that up and gotten a few additional points. Again, not a huge deal, but just make sure that even though you sort of have control of the ball, somebody's actually carrying it, I guess. Oh shit. We have the ball still?
We have the ball.
Oh, that was a lucky bounce.
Double kill.
I do like the drop walls quite a bit as equipment for this game type. I think they're really useful, and try and take advantage of them whenever you can. You see I use them a couple times here while we're defending this area. Really good, again, for sort of cutting off a choke point if enemies are approaching you, and using them to you know, defend doorways, or again alleyways, hallways, things like that. So again, just another good piece of equipment to give your team an advantage while the enemy is approaching you.
Tango's closing in. Taking cover.
We have the ball. Killing spree. Halfway to victory.
Watch my back.
Ball dropped.
So here I messed up a little bit and lost awareness of where our ball carrier was. I assumed this whole time that he was still behind me up in the tower when he had actually moved over to the opposite corner of the map. And by the time I realized, it's basically too late. The other team had already moved in on him. And this is the first time that our team really sort of gives up the ball for a significant portion of time.
Enemy has the ball.
No. Damn it.
Take.
The cinder shot. Oh boy.
Ball dropped.
Hostile carrier down.
Reloaded.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Over there. Hostiles in sight. Picking up the cinder shot.
So as you can see, sort of the new defender area has sort of shifted to the inside of this station room. And this sort of highlights why I don't like defending in areas like this, is because once you're in here, everything is so closed off and you lose all visibility. And really, you don't know an enemy is there until they come through that doorway. So ideally, I would have liked to move this back over to the tower area, but as you can see, we sort of stay in here for a while, and it just gets really claustrophobic, and you really don't have an opportunity to fight back until the enemy is sort of, again, like right in your face in the room with you.
Nearing victory.
Tag one.
Ball dropped.
What a reliable weapon.
Ball dropped.
Dang it.
Enemy has the ball.
What do we got down here? It's locked. And I didn't mean to jump all the way down there. Shit! Crap, don't let him come back. I can go get the, I can never remember what this
Ball
thing's called.
dropped. Enemy has the ball.
Stalker
Grenade was a
rifle.
hit. Down there.
Ball dropped.
So here, I think one thing to call out is to not be so hasty to sort of pick up the ball. And if you're in the middle of a fight, it's better to just sort of finish the fight and then, assuming you survive, pick up the ball afterwards. More often than not, if you sort of disengage and sort of go run after the ball, the enemy's just going to sort of gun you down and you're going to die. So try and hold off that temptation to sort of exit the fight so you can go chase down the ball. In this case, I wish I would have continued fighting. I don't know if I would have won, but if I would have killed that guy, that would have given me a much better opportunity to pick up the ball and hold it for longer rather than the half a second that I got, which was kind of worthless. I should have just kept fighting.
Enemy has the ball.
We're so close though.
Ball dropped. We have the ball.
Cinder shot available.
Taking cover. Taking fire. Targets are over.
Ball dropped.
We've lost possession. Keep a tight grip on that, Spartan.
Hooray!
One. Enemy team facing elimination. Ball incoming.
A win is in reach, Spartan.
Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped.
An ally has slain the carrier.
Nobody picked up the cinder shot? What the hell?
Blasting Spartan.
So I'm actually going to be the ball carrier for quite a bit in this beginning portion of the match. And I think sort of the main call out from the perspective of being the ball carrier is to not be afraid to drop the ball and go on the offensive from time to time. And you'll see I do that quite a bit. As enemies are approaching, I drop the ball and I start fighting back. And I think that's honestly the way to go, rather than sort of trying to hold the ball as much as you possibly can and sort of hide in a corner until they come find you and kill you. Ultimately, I think it's better to, again, in those instances, drop the ball and sort of even the odds by helping your teammates fight back and sort of defend your area. Ultimately, if you do win that fight, you're going to net more points, I think, because there's that extra time of the enemy then dies, they have to respawn, and they have to run all the way back to where you're at. So winning that fight is going to be much more valuable than maybe like an extra 5 seconds of you being in the corner holding the ball. So you'll notice I do that quite a bit. I drop the ball, I go on the offensive. Once the fight's over, I pick the ball back up. Then another wave of enemies comes. I drop the ball, I fight, enemies die, pick the ball back up. I think that's the main strategy in my mind of how to do it. And I think ultimately it nets more points doing it that way.
Hold on to that and we win.
Reloading.
Enemies hurt!
Oh boy.
Ball dropped. We have the ball.
Taking damage.
Ball dropped.
We lost possession.
Grab the equipment.
It's yours. Keep it that way to score.
Ball dropped.
Oh my god, did I get him? Oh boy.
Tango's closing in.
Ball dropped.
Reload!
Not much ammo,
Damn.
Spartan.
Taking fire.
Pick up the ball.
Keep a tight grip on that, Spartan.
Ball dropped.
Frag out.
Grenade was a hit.
Oh god. Oh god. How am I alive?
Ball dropped.
It's yours. Keep it that way to score.
Way to victory. Ball dropped.
Damn. That was a good run.
Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped.
That was a really good run.
We've lost a teammate.
Enemy has the ball.
Did some damage.
One other quick call out, just from the perspective of the attacker, is not to try and chase down the ball if they're moving around the map. You sort of want to cut them off instead. So in this case, and this isn't the greatest example of this, but I noticed that they were moving down that left alley there. So I could chase them down that left alley, but instead I was going to choose to cut them off going straight down the middle. So in your mind, you know, just sort of picture where they're moving, where they're going to end up, and go to that area where they're going to end up rather than, you know, trying to run behind them and chase them.
Ball dropped.
Pop their shield.
We have the ball.
Man, how did he kill me so fast? I feel like I died quick. I don't know. Maybe not.
Aim true, Spartan.
Ball dropped.
We've lost possession.
Ball dropped.
Keep a tight grip on that, Spartan.
Nearing victory.
I think not.
Watch my back.
So now I get the ball and sort of finish up the match on this side, opposite of the tower. And I kind of like this area quite a bit as well to defend for similar reasons to the tower where you have lines of sight and things like that. I also like being in areas where you're high up and you can, as you can see, you can sort of drop off and you can have those quick escape routes. So like here, I'm thinking I can jump off that ledge if I need to, or I can back up into this stairway. But anyways, I think we hold the ball here for a couple more seconds and win the match.
Ball dropped. We have the ball. Victory.
Oh my god, that was an awesome round. And there you have it. That was an oddball match in Halo Infinite. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you later. Bye.